And I'm saying that if I and you are purchasing something and we didn't get what we paid for, would we keep going back and buying more of it?
No, we would not.
I mean, the bottom line of this is that a handful of people in our state, and in any state, are leaders that are making decisions for us, that are why we're here tonight. So if we don't look at doing something else with the money that you're paying, that I'm paying as consumers, we will continue to get the dismal results. As a business owner, I would never choose to keep doing what wasn't working because I would be out of business. We have the highest, as you mentioned earlier, per capita rate of violence in the city of Wilmington, directly tied to educational results, because the results are there, statistics are there. We understand that education and crime rates are directly proportional. We have a problem in Wilmington. We have a problem with our results of education in Delaware. And despite the idea, toward your point, Doctor, having the information, making the information consumer friendly, which by the way we can do if we are operating with leaders that can make that information consumer friendly, so that you and I can look at the information and put the money in our pockets and make the choice for our child, and to connect to parents so that they can be better informed. As leaders, we can figure out ways that our best practices being done in other states. We're not reinventing a wheel here. Other states are doing well in the areas of education, have lower crime rates to show for it. We're not reinventing anything here. We can bring in those kinds of practices, such as in the state of Florida. I know there are some outstanding results with what parents are getting for a much lower dollar, consumers are getting for a much lower dollar per outcome, and incorporate those. You do need good leaders. You do need to elect, it's at the ballot box, yes, you use that leverage, and we make that information consumer friendly so that we can have a better outcome. This does not have to be kept in the same convoluted system that we are experiencing right now.
Exactly.
We have a lot more power than we know or that we are exercising, and the outcome will be directly proportional to the power that we exercise as consumers. I think as I'm listening to the discussion tonight, I'm hearing that we, at the end of all of it, we agree that things need to change.
Absolutely.
That we're not getting what we need to get as parents. We're certainly not getting that as educators who care about teaching, those who truly care about teaching. In my own experience, and I want to reference this, I've got, as a way of answering this question, I've got two disabled children. My middle child is autistic and at a very young age was told he would never read, write, or communicate effectively. And I'm glad at that age we sought another path that would allow an expansion of an outcome. But in high school, he was continually swimming upstream in terms of his outcome. Yes, he has special circumstances, a different way of learning. And there are people that are exploding on the learning disability spectrum right now, from learning disabilities to severe autism. That number is exploding, and for reasons we can have another panel discussion about that sometime. But the idea that he was told point blank by a group of professionals around the table that you will never do anything more than push a broom. And at that point in time, and I give him all the credit in the world, he did not say a word to the people that were giving him this dismal outcome. But he decided on his own at 17 to sue the district. And he took this on when he got the notice in the mail saying Simon Valenzuela versus the school district. I said, how do you feel? He said, they're outnumbered. And he prevailed. Now he and these students teach us a great deal as parents, as community members, and I think that we can all agree the time for discussing this is over. We are very good at discussing what we've already talked about as parents, as educators, talking about the outcome we're receiving for some of the highest cost per student in the nation. If you can agree that you're getting that as a parent, or that the students that you know are receiving that level of education, one of two in the nation that receive Race to the Top funds, that actually handcuffs those who care about teaching because of the reporting requirements. Teachers that are tied to outcomes they can't even adequately describe because the outcomes aren't clearly defined.